In this video, we're going to talk about U.S. customary measures of length. And the first two of these conversions you probably have memorized. You probably already know that 12 inches is equal to 1 foot and that 3 feet is equal to 1 yard. But this third one, that 1 mile is equal to 5,280 feet, might be new to you. That is going to be a necessary value for you to have memorized. Now, when you make conversions using U.S. measures, you either have to know the answer directly or you have to use a conversion process. And the process that I'm about to show you is a fairly standard one involving the units. Let's say that we want to convert 5.5 yards into inches, and we want to know how many inches is that going to be. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to write our 5.5 yards over 1. And we're going to multiply by some conversion factor that is going to change the yards into inches. Now, if you know that there are 36 inches in 1 yard, you could use that conversion directly. Or we could start by converting the yards into feet. By putting yards in the denominator, we're allowed to cancel out those units and now convert to feet. Now, this fraction needs to equal 1, and 3 feet is the same as 1 yard. So essentially, this fraction is equal to 1, and whenever you multiply by 1, the value of what you get as a product is going to be the same or equivalent to what you began with. Now what we're going to have is 5.5 times 3 feet, but we need to convert this into inches. So I'm going to multiply by another conversion fraction, which will allow us to cancel out the units of feet and convert that into the inches that we are looking for. Now we know that there are 12 inches in 1 foot, and so this fraction now is equal to 1, and we're multiplying by 1 again. When we take this product, multiplying all three of these together, we're basically going to have our units be inches only, and we're going to multiply 5.5 times 3 times 12, which is basically multiplying 5.5 times 36. So let's go off to the side to our scratch paper and multiply 36 times 5.5. 5 times 6 is 30. We carry our 3. 5 times 3 is 15, plus the 3 we carried is 18. Now, since we're multiplying by 5 again, I can just repeat the row above, and we can get this value right here. There's 1 digit to the right of the decimal, so we will have 198 as our answer, and 5.5 yards is equal to 198 inches. Now let's do this next conversion. 3 miles is equal to how many feet? Again, I'm going to begin with 3 miles and put that over 1. And then I'm going to multiply it by a conversion fraction which has miles in the denominator so that I can cancel out those units and convert them to feet. Now, we know there are 5,280 feet in 1 mile, so this fraction again is equal to 1. And when we multiply across, our denominators will be 1, and all we really need to do now is take 5,280 and multiply it by 3. And we will get 15,840 feet is in 3 miles. Now, if you can do that directly, more power to you, but there will be more advanced, complicated moves that you need to deal with in conversions, and so having this method at your disposal anytime that you are using U.S. units is a very good idea. Now let me introduce some new notation to you. When we use an apostrophe and quotes, as I've got written here, this stands for 4 feet 6 inches and 7 feet 9 inches, and we want to be able to add these together. Well, we will line up like units, so I will just move this 4 feet 6 inches to be beneath the other measure when we add, and we're going to add just as we normally would. 9 plus 6 is 15, and we will have 15 inches, and in the next column, the feet column, we will have 11 feet 15 inches. However, we know we can take this 15 inches and convert it up into 12 inches, which is 1 foot, plus 3 inches. And so we can take these 12 inches and carry them, so to speak, to the next column and make this now 12 feet 3 inches. We don't ever want to have a value 12 or above in this inches position because those 12 can be carried into the next column. Now let's say that we are asked to find the perimeter of this rectangle where we are given the length and the width. You have two choices on how you want to handle this. You can multiply each of these by 2 because there are 2 lengths and 2 widths and then add together. Or you can just add all 4 sides together directly because the perimeter is the sum of the lengths of the sides of this rectangle. I'm going to do this with multiplication just so we can have a little bit of a change over of how we've done other problems. I'm going to write that the perimeter is equal to 2 times this 2 foot 7 inches plus 2 times this 8 foot 10 inches. Well, what does this mean? This is really going to mean I'm going to have 4 feet 14 inches plus 16 feet 20 inches. And when we combine the feet together, I have 20 feet, and then when we combine the inches together, we would have 34 inches. But we can't have this 34 inches here. We can break that up into 12 inches, which is 1 foot, 12 inches, which is another foot, that's 24 of the 34 inches, and then there'd be 10 inches left over. So these two 12 inches measures will move over to the foot column, and we can now write that as 22 feet 10 inches as the perimeter of this rectangle.